Remember the name 15-year-old Tamim Ian Habimana. He was a schoolboy, a child, and his life was taken for a foolish reason. Now, a group of wild and uncontrollable school kids with no guidance, no regard for human life or accountability, travelled to Woolwich on the 5th of July 2021 in order to act on a revenge due to a stabbing that took place in Dartford 9 days earlier. Now, Tamim Ian Habimana was not involved in that incident, but his alleged friend was. Now, the court heard that a 15-year-old boy who could not be named for legal reasons and his mates armed themselves with blades, umbrellas and roundabouts. Then, as I said, they travelled to Woolwich with an exact purpose. They spotted Tamim and his mates. Now, Tamim walked in a direction towards the group that travelled to Woolwich, but stopped at a short distance when he saw that the boys were carrying blades in one hand and a bat in the other hand. Again, this was in broad daylight, in the vicinity of CCTV and witnesses, including off-duty police officers. In a split second, everything changed. The unnamed 16-year-old and his mates pounced towards Tamim. Now, Tamim made a run for it. It was flight mode that kicked in. Instinct to survive. He ran round parked cars and tried to make a run for his life, but he was caught by the aggressors, and he was pulped once. The wound hit his heart. Now, Tamim's adrenaline was pumping so fast, he couldn't even comprehend what had just happened to him, so as I said, he ran away. But sadly, a few seconds later, his heart gave out and he collapsed at a bus stop. This was filmed on cameras by passing buses and as well as passengers. Now, the second victim, the one whom may have been involved in the Dartford stabbing, was also hit in the back, in which the blade snapped. However, the 16-year-old aggressor still attempted to get down his victim, hitting him and hitting him and hitting him, and even still using that broken knife. The need for revenge did not outweigh the fact that off-duty officers were on the scene trying to intervene and save people's lives. Emergency services were called, but sadly Tamim was pronounced dead at the scene, and nearby there were rounders bats, discarded, and snapped blades and umbrellas. Now, the surviving victim was taken to hospital and police attended trying to interview him, but he refused to help the investigation, despite his friend being a fatal victim in this incident. Now, as for the 16-year-old, who cannot be named, he was found guilty of manslaughter. During the case, he said he had no intention of taking a life and it was self-defense. Therefore, he was not guilty, and his actions were right, according to this young child, and he is due to be sentenced at a later date. This whole thing could have been avoided if people just thought before they acted. Condolences. Stay safe. Safe.